Hey everybody, if you like Halloween as much as I do, you might like to decorate your yard and things and, have a little fun that way. So I'm going to make a coffin. I used to have one and I made it decades ago. And it was pretty cool looking. It was, kind of looked like a shape of one you'd see in a classic horror movie after they dig up a grave or something. So I had it for years, and the problem is, after the Halloween season, what the hell do I do with it? So, as over time, I collected more and more things. I kind of had less room for something like that, and I decided to dismantle it and part with it finally, and I miss it. Now, what I'm going to do here is something I haven't seen. There's a lot of videos with coffins. I'm going to make a coffin, and I'm going to be able to take it apart so it lays flat. I can move it away in pieces, because the one I had was all like about half-inch thick plywood, and it was actually heavy too. So plus you're carrying this thing 6 foot or whatever. So I'm going to make that. I'm going to make it as simple as possible and with as few tools as you possibly can use. Probably just a pencil, a circular saw, or any kind of saw that you figure you got that you can cut plywood with, or whatever kind of wood you decide to use. Screwdriver, maybe a power screwdriver, some brackets, some screws. Real simple. I think I put out about $60 for the materials. Some of it I already had. I'll show that to you in a second. Okay, so what I did was this coffin's going to be just a little shorter than my other one. I made my last one over 6 foot a bit. This will be like for a 6 foot monster or whatever. So I got my two 2x10s. This is the one I bought today. This one I had, and then the 2x4s I found a couple different ones. So neither one of them equals 6 foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these on here about like there for that one. That covers the splice, and these can go anywhere. And then I'm going to screw them down fast. The whole distance of this equals 22 across this way. So, and that's 3/4 of an inch narrower than the other one I had, but that's fine. So, just going to screw these down, and then we're going to cut the shape. So, because I don't want to cut through any nails later, I'm going to stay to the inside with the first step. I don't really care about lining these things up perfectly. And the point is, like I said, there's other videos on sizing this up and getting some really nice videos some of the people done. And they'll go into some of the mathematics and other things. This is just one of those videos that you can take this apart. And yeah, because this bottom piece, obviously, it's not going to be light. It's got, 1.5 inch thick lumber. The point is when it's all done, it can lay flat somewhere. Okay, that's basically what the point of this is. I'm going to do some more of it. Now, I'm going to flip it over, measure it out, and cut it. So my other coffin had an angle this way. I don't know if, let's see if you can see that. There we go. It had an angle over here, like coming this way, then it had another one going this way before the bottom taper. I went and looked at a lot of pictures. It seems like most of them only have 2 angles. So that's what I'm going to do, probably about something like here, maybe here, and then match the same at the bottom, but longer. So at a 22, I'm just going to wing this, okay? So at 22, I'm going to come in, let's see, that's 5 inches, look. That would get 6. All right, I will come back after I've drawn this in. There, ready. So I didn't want to bore you with all the measuring process and all that, and But what I did was over in the top and the bottom, I looked at my old coffin, it's over here, and I measured the bottom and the top. They were both 13 at the bottom and top, that piece there. So I figured I'd do the same here. It kind of looked good. So found the center spot on the center piece of wood, measured in each side 6.5 inches, 6.5 and 6.5 equals 13. Did the same at the bottom. Then I decided where I wanted the next line to go for the top angle, which you want to be shorter. So I just took the tape measure and just pulled down and said, I think I like that right there. That's about 22.5. So I did that on both sides, made the lines, and then it's easy from the bottom. You just take your bottom outside line and come up and meet the other one. Now all I got to do is cut it off and take the shape. This is going to serve as the skeleton basically for this project. And I want to make sure I'm not going to cut into the table. So we have our basic shape of our casket, and of course it's gotten lighter, so when I disassemble it, this is going to be easy to carry. So now I'm going to flip it over, cut off the ends, and then we're going to work on the sides, which is basically how the thing is going to be held together but stable enough and come apart. Okay, so you can see the basic shape. That's standing up at 6 foot. So it'll be a little larger on the outside with the plywood on it. So it's 6 foot on the inside. I could actually fit in there because I'm 5'9" barefoot. Maybe not with the shoes, but we'll see when I get done. Okay, for my design, what I did was it's 6 feet. The long side is 50.5. The short side is 22.5. So I've got, that's a total of 73 inches. So what I did is first I cut off after 73 inches on an 8-foot piece of wood, plywood. So now what I did is, it just so happens that how thick should I make the box? 16 will divide into 48 across 3 times exactly. You know, minus the width of the blade, but I could care less about that little bit. So I measured that and cut that off to start with, so I don't have to cut through wood I'm not working with. Now, in order so I don't have to cut all the way across lengthwise, I'm also going to make my 22.5 down line all the way across. That leaves the bottom at the 50.5, and then I could just cut out the blocks after that. So that's what we're going to do next, is just cut the next hunk of length off, and then we'll cut these pieces here. You'll see right in a second. Okay, we have the sides cut, and we're going to do the top last after I assemble the sides. Take the long side first. Alright, so, and like I said, this isn't this old house or anything like that, so this is a little bit sloppy, I don't care. It's a Halloween decoration, and it's going to be good enough, because I'm doing this fast. And I kind of want it to look a little rustic, like somebody may have made it, you know, just to bury somebody in quickly. So I'm going to use drywall screws at the bottom. Turn it into the bottom piece. I'm going to pull it up, line it up. Okay, you see how this is what this is getting to here? This bottom piece is acting as a skeleton for this, and it's gonna give it the support because of the width. Damn it! The width of the wood being 1.5 inches, it gives it a good amount to pull against and hold itself square. So you can see already, it's pretty stiff. I'm going to put a short side on. Okay then, rather to bore you with the entire rest of this assembly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the idea I came up with. Like I said again, we want to disassemble this thing. Later on, so here's what we got. We'll go right to this piece here. So this is our inside, and now I need to add strength to this piece here. Alright, like we said, you can see my lines aren't perfect. I don't really care. It's not going in any museum for Halloween. So I got these brackets, and they're just simply angle brackets like I told you earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a hammer and flatten it out until I got the right angle, and then let me go get a hammer. I don't have one. Okay, I'm just gonna tap it out. Piece of scrap till I like the fit on it. Oh, overdid it. Of course. No, maybe not. Okay, so you get the idea. This is the big deal about my idea here, is that I could take this thing apart now. Alright, so put this close to the top. Okay, so you can see we got some strength to it. And they're poking through a little bit over here. I'll file or hit him with a wheel or something on the other side. I got to try to get screws that would give me enough tooth. Now, of course, if this strips out over time, these holes, I could just get screws or machine screws that go all the way through and put a nut on or send them through this way, put the nut on the inside. But you can see it's got, for what its intended purpose is, just a decoration. That's it. So I'm going to just fly through the rest of it, and then I'll come back when it's assembled. All right. So, like I said, this is a bit of a hack job. Knocked it out real quick just to do it. Overall, I'm happy with it. It's not perfect by any means. There's a lot of really nice, perfectly done casket videos on YouTube. Again, the point is to be able to disassemble it. So you could see that bracket right there. They're in all the sections that join here, here, and then also one at the top. You probably can't see, but so it comes apart. And this way I can lay all the pieces flat, probably in my shed. That shed over there. Okay, that has like rafters in the ceiling. I could put it right there, and it's out of the way. I used to have to draw it up into my attic over the house with the old one. So I did have enough scrap to even make the door, which it not entirely out of one piece, but I pieced it together because I'll either probably just use it as a removable lid, and you'll keep that side hidden and just stand it up near it, or lay it down, or whatever. So that's it, and I hope you enjoyed it, and go ahead and make your own. Again, leave a comment if you want. This was not intended to be micro perfect at all. In fact, I want it to be simple. Some of the videos I did see, one guy, he made all brackets or braces out of I guess like 2x4s where the sections join, and then figured out the angles, so he would cut the angles on his table saw. And you know, there was, you know, a few pieces of equipment involved, so I wanted to make this simple. Like, actually you could do this all with a handsaw if that's all you can get your hands on. So take you more time, obviously, but this probably took me a couple hours. So thanks again for watching. Happy Halloween.